Ryder is about to yell at them when one of them speaks up. We were told to bring this package to this pack by a hooded man. He said that he would kill our mates and children. We didn't have a choice, the man explains quickly. Ryder thinks over what the man said, and he nods his head. Alpha, where do you want the rouges? One of the scouts asks. I think his name is Jeremy, but I'm not sure. Please bring them to the cellar. I will deal with them later. Also, please bring them some blankets and food. They look like they've traveled a long way. Some of the scouts bring the rouges over to the cellars where they will be questioned for everything they know. I'm pretty sure we all know who is behind this, but I don't want to think about it. Luna, we saw this box near the edge of the border when we saw the rouges. It has your name on it. Thank you. You can put it down on the ground for right now. It looks really heavy. The scouts put the box down in front of me before they bow and take a few steps back. I see a crowd has formed, and everyone is standing around the room tensely. We're all waiting for a sign that means we have to defend ourselves. We stand there for about 5 minutes, but nothing happens. I decide to see what's in the box because the suspense is killing me. I slowly kneel down to the ground, but I make no move to open the box yet. I grab the box and I stare at it suspiciously. I look around and see everyone is waiting with bated breath to see what's in the box. This could be the first sign of war. I gulp nervously before I open the box. Chelsea's POV. I hate how my life has turned out. I hate everything. My entire life has gone bad because of that one incident, and no matter how hard I try, I'm never good enough. No matter what I do, my life continues to get more and more messed up. I don't want this life. I wish things were different. If I could go back and change things from my past, I would do it in a heartbeat. Today, John tried to talk to me. I had to ignore him since my parents were there, and I knew he wanted to ask me for a chance. I hate hurting him and seeing the look on his face as I continually reject him. Who knows, maybe one day he will find someone who isn't as messed up as me, and they can be happy. My wolf howls in my head at that thought, and I can feel my already broken heart break even more. I want to be with him, but I can't. Being around him is too painful, and that's why I can't be tied down to him or anyone else. I'm like a bad disease, and I'm damaged goods. I know that if John ever knew the truth, he would be disgusted with me. He would say that it was my fault that his dad violated me. Everyone is always calling me a slut, so maybe it was my fault. Maybe my clothes were too revealing, or I said something that made him think that I wanted him. I know people think that sluts don't have feelings and they'll have sex with anyone, but I'm honestly not like that. I just want to forget. And when I'm with guys, I can forget, even if it's for a little while. I don't enjoy my lifestyle, but there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have any real friends, and all the guys think that I'll sleep with them no matter what, so I've just stopped trying to fight their advances. I just ignore what people say, and I try to hide just how broken I am. My parents have such high expectations for me, and no matter what I do, it's never good enough. There's always something wrong with it. It's been awful since Elizabeth left the pack. Zach has been horrible to everyone, and he's overworking everyone to make sure we take down Ryder. We have to train for 10 hours each day. Everyone who Zach thinks can fight in this war will be fighting. In some cases, entire families will be fighting. He's having everyone from the ages 14 to 60 fighting. That's a majority of the pack, and some of them have just shifted for the first time within the last month or so. Some of the older members are too old to be fighting, and they will be one of the first to die. I'm not allowed to train with the pack since I'm now Zach's personal slave. I have to do everything that he tells me to do since apparently he found out about my secret. I don't know how he knows since I never told anyone, but he does. If I don't do what he wants, he's going to kill John. I know I rejected him, and I treat him like crap, but he's still my mate. I'm doing everything that I'm doing to protect him. I hope that he will forgive me for everything I've done, because I honestly don't know what I would do if he didn't. Elizabeth's POV. My head hurts so bad. It feels like I've been hit by a truck, and then an elephant decided to sit on my head. What's going on? Why do I hear an annoying beeping sound? I groan and try to open my eyes. I hear shuffling around the room, and even though the person is trying to be quiet, it still sounds too loud for my sensitive ears. Once my eyes open, I rub them to try and rub the sleep away from them. There's a blinding white light that I see when my eyes open. I look around the room and see Ryder moving things around. Ryder, are you okay? I ask while sliding out of bed. What? Yeah, I'm fine, he mumbles distractedly. So there's no reason for you moving all this furniture around? Nope. I just thought we needed a change around here. I glance at the clock. 3 in the morning, you thought this would be prime time to start acting like an interior designer? I don't know about you, but I'd much rather be sleeping, I say while walking over to him. It's only 3 in the morning? Wow, I thought it was a lot later. I just haven't been able to sleep since yesterday. He trails off with a faraway look on his face. Ryder, everything will be okay, I say while trying to convince myself. I wrap my arms around his waist from behind and rest my head against his muscular back. Things are not all right. Did you see what was in the box? I suck in a deep breath and nod my head. Yes, I saw what was in the box, I say quietly. He turns around to face me, and he instantly pulls me into a bone-crushing hug. How can you be so calm? Ryder asks while breathing in my scent. Well, honestly, I'm really freaked out, but we need to be calm. The pack needs us. Ryder doesn't say anything, but I know that what I just said helped snap him out of whatever trance he was in earlier. The beeping sound continues, and it's honestly getting on my nerves. Okay, what's that beeping sound? I ask while looking around the room. Ryder frowns as if he's only noticing that sound for the first time. I have no clue. Ryder mummers while searching around the room. We search the room for about 10 minutes before we just decide to give up. Okay, it's like 3:30 and I'm really tired, so I'm going to bed. I'm just going to try to ignore it. I'm heading over to the bed when I trip over something and fall flat on my face. Ryder is by my side in an instant, and he has a worried look on his face. Are you okay? What happened? Are you dying? I give him a flat look, and I want to roll my eyes, but I can see that he's being completely serious about this. Ryder, I'm fine. I just tripped. It's no big deal. He starts helping me up, but then something catches his eyes, and he lets go of my arms. I fall back onto the floor because I wasn't standing properly yet. That's where my phone went, Ryder says as he picks up the phone. He freaking dropped me back on the floor because he saw his phone? Seriously, Ryder? I say while rubbing my forehead. Why is the floor so hard? This is what's been making the beeping sound. I had an alarm on, and it hasn't stopped. Damn, my phone is almost dead because of that, Ryder mumbles to himself. I stare at him in shock before I get off the ground and walk over to the bed. I try to sleep, but my mind is full of everything that's happened to me recently. My mind drifts back to yesterday as Ryder separates himself from his phone and leads me back to bed. I open the box and my nose scrunches up in confusion. Inside the box is another box, and inside that box is another box. The crowd around me leans in closer to get a better look at what's happening. Ryder is basically breathing down my neck, and all this attention is making me uncomfortable. I continue to open up the boxes. Is that all that's in here? I get to one box, and when I open it, a bunch of photos fall out of it. The photos are all of me, from when I was born to now. Some of these photos were taken while I've been here. The photos are of me at different angles, and you can tell that I wasn't aware that someone was taking these pictures of me. Ryder growls when he sees this, and he pulls me to his chest. All of the pictures have a red slash mark going across my face. The pack gasps as they see the pictures, and Ryder growls again. Who did this? His growl fills the house, but no one answers his question. When I hold up some of the photos, I see handwriting on the back of them. I start turning the pictures over, and each one has one word on it. I look at all the words, and I frown in confusion. The words say, "Will lucky save won't I get, but away, princess, you this able time soon last. So time no save one, and see time you were to be, this will pee." I stare at all the words, but this doesn't make any sense. What is this talking about? I mumble quietly to myself. Brian steps forward, and he bows his head slightly. If I may, Luna, I immediately nod my head and hand him the pictures. He looks at the words before he starts putting some words together. What are you doing? Ryder asks curiously. His eyes are still blazing, and by the grip he has on my waist, I know he's going into overprotective mate mode. I'm trying to group some of these words together that would make sense in a sentence. I will add the other words a little later. Some of the other pack members start to help him out by adding comments or rearranging some words. As we reorganize the words, the pieces start falling into the place. It says, "Last time you were able to get away, but this time you won't be so lucky. I will see you soon, princess, and this time no one will save you." Who's P? I thought this would be something from Zach, but it looks like there's another problem going on. Everyone looks at me, waiting for me to say something to clear up the confusion, but I'm probably more confused than they are. Who's P? Ryder's question is aimed at me, but I just frown at him before shrugging. I have no clue, I say while trying to think of anyone I know whose name starts with a P. Jake comes into the middle of the circle and he kneels down next to me. Do you know who this person is? I ask Jake. He thinks it over for a few minutes before slowly shaking his head. Ryder growls before he abruptly stands up and drags me up with him. We need to go talk to those rogues right now, he says, and I can tell he's losing control. I follow him to where the rogues are being held. I feel my stomach clench with a bundle of nerves, and I rub my hands against Ryder's nervously. Ryder glances back at me, and his raging eyes soften a little. I must look pretty pitiful because he stops walking and he wraps his arms around me. Are you okay? What? Yeah, I'm fine. You know that voice you get when you're lying? The one where your voice gets really high at the end? Yeah, that's what my voice sounded like. Ryder gives me a flat look, but he doesn't say anything else. We start walking to the cells again, and I take in a deep breath. We get to the door, and I anticipate how this conversation is going to go and how this room will look. In my old pack, the room where we kept the rogues was a very scary place. There were many chains and cages that were all made out of pure silver, and the floors were always damp. The room always smelled like puke, blood, and death. I hated going down there, but whenever we had major company, I was supposed to go down there after I finished my chores so I couldn't embarrass the pack. I'm so glad that it took me longer to do my chores the day I met Ryder. If it had been done earlier, I probably wouldn't have met him. As we open the doors, I brace myself before entering the room. I glance around and see that it's not at all what I thought it was going to be. First off, there's not a disgusting odor floating through the air. Also, it's not dimly lit or damp everywhere. There are no cells or chains around, and the guards aren't torturing the rogues or anything. In fact, the rogues look like they're having a great time. They are eating food, and they have blankets surrounding them. Some are lounging on the floor reading, and one of them is napping on the couch. You look so shocked, Ryder says while chuckling at my face. I thought this was going to be some creepy dungeon or like the one in my old pack. Ryder's face turns back to being serious, and he pulls me closer to him. You sound like you've been there often. It's not important now. I'm away from there, and I'm here with you. Ryder nods his head in approval before he clears his throat loudly. All the rogues stop what they are doing, and they turn around to face us. All of the rogues stand up except for the one who is still sleeping. Alpha, one of the rogues says while bowing. Ryder nods his head in acknowledgement, and I smile at them. I have some questions for you about the person who gave you the box. Of course, Alpha. What did he look like? Did he have any distinguishing features? Did he look familiar? I'm sorry, Alpha. We could not see his face because he had his hood on, and he had a mask on underneath that. He had no scent, and he was able to sneak up on us. Our mates and family were sleeping, and so we were obviously watching over the camp. It was quiet, but then all of a sudden, this cloaked man was in front of us. The voice he spoke in sent shivers up and down my back, and it was like I had to listen to him. He gave off a certain amount of power, but it wasn't as much as a beta or alpha. Where were you when you saw him? We were about 3 hours away from here, in that territory that no one has claimed. Ryder nods his head and rubs his chin. Is there anything else you can tell us? I ask quietly. All eyes turn to me, but I don't shy away from attention like I usually do. I'm sorry, Luna. That's all I can remember. Does anyone else have anything to add? The rogue looks around to the other ones, but no one says anything. Well, thank you for your cooperation, Ryder says before he starts leading me to the exit. The rogues nod their head and bow slightly. If you can think of anything else, please tell us, I say before I'm dragged out of the room. The guards go back to their positions, and Ryder and I head upstairs. Once we're upstairs, we head to the kitchen to get some food. All throughout the meal, my thoughts are on the pictures and what the rogues told us. I try to think of everyone I know, and I try to figure out this person's identity. Originally, I thought it was Zach, but now I'm not so sure. Why is my life so complicated? I'm still laying in bed after thinking of everything that happened earlier. Ryder is asleep, but I can't get my brain to shut down. I know I told Ryder that we had to be calm and stuff for the pack, but now that I've had time to think over things, I can't help but freak out. I don't remember escaping from anyone, and I don't think I know anyone whose name starts with a P. I start getting restless, so I head down to the kitchen to get something to eat. Maybe some ice cream will help me get to sleep. Elizabeth's POV. I love the feeling of running in my wolf form. I love feeling the wind on my fur, and I love the power I feel. Running in wolf form has always been that one release for me. It has always helped me calm down and relax. Ryder and I decided to have a pack run so we could all have a little fun. The tension that's in the pack house was suffocating everyone, and we all needed some fresh air. Some guards have been assigned the first shift to watch the houses. The second shift will start in about an hour, and new guards will take over. This way, everyone has some time to relax. I lift up my nose and take in a deep breath and close my eyes. I love the smell that nature gives off. The sweet smell of flowers assaults my nose, and I sigh in content. With my advanced hearing, I can hear a lot of other animals running along in the woods and the sound of water running. I can hear the younger wolves playing with each other while some adults talk or some join in for the fun. Ryder's wolf form comes next to me and he rubs his side into mine. I let out a sigh and lay down. Ryder lays down next to me with his big head resting on my back. It's so peaceful out here, and this is exactly what I need. Just a little bit of peace and quiet. I feel myself dozing off as I relax completely. I don't know how long I sleep before I feel something warm and wet licking my face. I open my eyes expecting to see Ryder, but instead I see a little brown wolf looking at me. Her brown eyes remind me of a little girl I know. I sniff the air slightly, and sure enough, Abigail is the little wolf in front of me. She wags her tail excitedly, and I glance around and see that a group of kids in their wolf forms are peering at me curiously. They're asking me to play with them. Ryder is still resting his head on my back, but I can tell that he's awake. I know he wouldn't have fallen asleep while we were left vulnerable, especially with everything that's even going on. I nudge his side, but he doesn't move, which causes me to frown. I nudge his side again, but he still doesn't move. I can imagine the smirk on his wolf face. I growl lowly before I use my tail to slap him in the face. He instantly jumps up, and his wolf lets out a sound that I think is a sneeze. The children and I laugh quietly at him. Ryder looks at us with a slight glare on his face before a smirk appears on his face. "You guys better run," he says through the mind link. The children look at him shocked and almost a little frightened. They quickly stand up and run out of the clearing. I look back at Ryder and see that he is staring right at me. "I'll give you a 10-second head start." I give him a wolfish grin before I start running in the direction the kids ran in. A few seconds later, I hear the sound of paws hitting the ground, and I know that Ryder is chasing me. I pick up my pace, and soon I'm right near the children. The adults watch us in amusement and with smiles on their faces. Some of the kids go hide behind their parents, but the older ones keep running. I can hear Ryder getting closer to me, so I take a sharp right turn. Ryder glances at me before he starts chasing Abigail. She tries to run faster, but she's obviously no match for an alpha male. He quickly catches her and dumps her into a small stream nearby. I laugh at the look on her face when she emerges from the water. She looks so shocked, but she also looks a little upset. Her face holds determination on it, and her eyes fog over. I guess she is using the mind link. A few seconds later, a bunch of kids start attacking Ryder. Their little wolf forms try to drag him into the water, but they have no such luck. Ryder must have taken pity on them because he lets them drag him into the water. Once he's in the water, he starts splashing some of the kids, and they immediately splash back. My heart squeezes inside of my chest as I watch Ryder with all those little kids. He's so good with them, and you can see how much they admire him. A lot of the rumors about him and this pack are so false, and I wish I had never believed them. I thought that this pack was filled with a bunch of bloodthirsty savages, but this pack is filled with a lot of kind-hearted people. More of the pack members join the kids and Ryder in the stream. There's a full-on water war going on, and I'm trying not to get involved. I see two kids jump on Ryder's back and begin walking around with them. My mind quickly comes up with images of Ryder playing with our future pups. Annabelle howls with happiness at the thought. I can't help but feel giddy about my future with Ryder. I want 3 kids, girls and 1 boy. I want them to have a relationship that's like Jake's and mine. A small smile makes its way into my wolf face. I feel a presence near me, so I turn my head to the side. "Aren't you going to come play, Luna?" A little boy asks. I remember meeting him at the ceremony since I couldn't get over how cute he is. His name is Marcus, and he's 5, so he hasn't shifted yet. He runs his small hands over my fur, and I purr softly. I lay down so he can climb on my back. Once he's on, and I'm sure he's holding on my fur tightly, I start walking towards everyone. Once people see me, they immediately move so I can get to Ryder. Ryder's turned around facing someone, and I take this perfect opportunity to splash him with a lot of water. He turns around while growling lowly. Marcus and a few other kids giggle quietly while Ryder turns around to face me. Once he sees me, his eyes narrow threateningly, but I stand my ground. "Did you just splash me?" Ryder growls through our mate mind link. "Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't," I say with a small smirk. Ryder shakes his head before he moves closer to me. "You really shouldn't have done that," he threatens with a small smile. "Well, what are you going to do about it?" Ryder growls playfully before he lunged at me. The sun is starting to set, and everyone is getting tired. We just had a picnic with some amazing food. Most of the children's eyes are starting to close, and they are leaning on each other. Everyone looks so happy, and I'm relieved. This has probably been the most fun that I have ever had, except for my date with Ryder. Today was absolutely perfect, and I wish every day was like it. "What are you thinking about?" Ryder asks as he comes over and sits next to me. Everyone is back in their human forms, and we have all dried off from earlier today. Most of the males aren't wearing shirts, Ryder included. "I was just thinking about how amazing today has been," I say while snuggling into his bare chest. "I'm glad you had fun, love. You've been so sad recently, and that's not what I want. I want you to be happy and smiling all the time." "Thank you." I lean back into his chest and start watching the sunset. The sunset is one of the most beautiful things that I have ever seen. I love all the different colors that mix together and highlight the beautiful nature surrounding us. "When do you want kids?" Ryder's question breaks the peaceful silence that was around us, and my heart skips a beat. Well, I'm not sure. Whenever you want them is fine. We could. My nervous rambling is cut off when Ryder's lips press against mine. I melt into his embrace and kiss him back. The kiss is soft and slow, and my heartbeat spiked again. He pulls away a few seconds later, and his eyes hold a glint of amusement in them. "Calm down, princess. It was just a little question." He wants me to calm down? How am I supposed to calm down with the question he just asked me? He wasn't just asking a simple question. He was asking 2 very important questions. I'm not sure if I'm ready for kids right now, but I definitely want one soon after seeing Ryder with the kids today. I'm worried that I won't be a good mom, though. I've never really had a good parent figure in my life until recently. Also, Ryder just marked me a few days ago, but with everything that's going on, it feels like it's been a lifetime ago. That also brings up the other part of this. In order for Ryder and I to have kids, that means that we have to mate first, and I'm certainly not ready for that. Liz, calm down. You're worrying, Ryder. Everything is going to be all right. Take a few deep breaths, okay? I listen to what Annabelle told me, and I start relaxing slightly. I look up and see that Ryder is starting at me in concern. "Are you all right, sweetheart?" I don't mean to upset or frighten you, he says, while pulling me closer to him. I'm okay. Sorry for that little freak out. It won't happen again, I say sheepishly. Ryder lets out a sigh of relief before kissing my cheek. I don't think I'm ready to have kids right now, but I promise I won't make you wait too long. I feel Ryder's chest rumble with a growl of approval, and I relax even more knowing that I said the right thing. I can feel my body being carried up a flight of stairs, but I'm too tired to really think anything of it. My limbs ache from the activities of today, and I'm basically dead to the world. Everyone spent a little more time outside before we all went our separate ways. Emily came over to watch some movies with me, and Ryder, Brian, Chris, and Jake went to Ryder's office to talk. Emily and I watched Frozen since she loves that movie. She looked so shocked when I told her that I hadn't seen the movie before, so she quickly put the movie in and we got comfortable. I thought the movie was really cute, and I really loved Olaf. He was so adorable and funny. I must have fallen asleep during the next movie that Emily put on. I open my eyes slightly and see Jake's is the one holding me. Hi, Jake, I mumble quietly. Hey, Lizzie, he says with a soft smile. I yawn quietly and I can feel my eyes closing. A pair of warm lips press against my forehead before I feel myself being lowered onto a soft bed. Good night, Liz. I love you. Good night, Jake. Love you too. Elizabeth's POV. Alpha, the rogues wish to speak with you. They said that they have something very important to tell you about the mystery person. Ryder and I quickly follow them downstairs to the cells. Once we get down there, the rogues bow slightly before one of them steps forward. It's the one that was sleeping when Ryder and I first came down here. Alpha, I had a dream last night. The moon goddess told me to warn you. Trust those that are close to you, those that you have known for years. Trust your judgment on people, but keep an eye on everyone. This person may be closer than you think. Watch over your mate and don't let her out of your sight. The rogue suddenly looks tired after he told us of his dream. I also noticed how his eyes almost looked like a reddish color. Is there anything else? Ryder questions after a few moments of silence. I can see that he is deep in thought about everything that the rogue told us. You will find help in an unlikely person. Keep your mind and eyes open. An unlikely person? What does that mean? Who is he talking about? Do I know this person? Does Ryder know this person? I have so many questions, but I only have a few answers. Ryder takes my hand in his and leads me out of the room after thanking the rogues. My mind goes on overdrive as we leave the cellars. Are you okay? I don't know, I respond while frowning. Ryder pulls me closer to him, but he doesn't say anything. I can tell that he is lost in his thoughts too. Another package from P came today. This time there were pictures of Ryder and I together doing various activities. Again, we were unaware that these pictures were being taken, and that's what frightens me the most. How was this person able to take those pictures? There was a message on the back of these pictures too. Time is running out. I can't wait till we meet again. I wonder if your mate is as powerful as the rumors say he is. I have a bad feeling that this P person is someone from this pack. I feel horrible for thinking that, but there's no way that anyone would be able to do this. The rogues that are in the cellars were caught within seconds of them trying to get onto the pack lands. Our scouts are way too good for anyone to be able to get by them, even if the person was hiding their scent. One of the scouts, I think his name is Max, can sense any unknown presences that stumble near the pack. The only logical thing would be if the person was already in this pack. That's highly unlikely, though, since all the pack members are devoted to Ryder, and they are all trustworthy. Nothing is adding up, and it's making me even more confused. Jake called his parents today, and they gave us some good news. Zach has to push the war back for a little while, since he doesn't have any help, and because his pack is almost in debt. That doesn't surprise me, though, since everyone would always use the money to buy flashy things that weren't used for anything. They were bought to show the wealth of the pack, but that's obviously gone downhill. All right, what's going on in that pretty little head of yours? My dad asks softly as he comes to sit next to me. I try to give him a reassuring smile, but I know that he sees through it. I'm just really tired. Your mom uses that line all the time, so you're going to have to think of a better excuse. I'm just worried about everything. I want to have a normal and happy life with my mate. Is that too much to ask for? My dad gives me a soft smile and wraps his arm around my shoulder. Of course not, honey. Everyone wants to be happy. I know there have been a lot of negative things that have happened in your life, but you need to focus on the positives. Like what? You have a very loving and devoted mate. I would have never imagined that Ryder could be so caring. A smile comes to my face as I think of Ryder. He's honestly the perfect mate, and I couldn't be more happy that I am paired with him. You have a loving older brother. He might not be your brother by blood, but he loves you so much. Jake has always been there for me, and he has helped me through some really tough times. You have your mom and me. I know we haven't been in your life for too long, but we have always loved you. Never doubt that. You were always on our mind, and we always hoped that we would be able to actually meet you. I smile and give him a tight hug. I love you too, Dad. You also have this amazing pack that is willing to protect you with their life. Yes, you have gotten the shorter end of the stick many times, but it's important to focus on the positive things that have happened. If you always think negatively, nothing will turn out the way you want it to. You got this second chance because of the positive attitude that you've had your entire life. You have always been so hopeful, and you didn't complain too much. My dad is right. I need to keep my spirits up and stay focused. Thank you, Dad. I really needed that. I say with a small grin on my face. That's the smile that I love so much. I giggle slightly when he pokes my nose, and my grin widens. Everything is going to be all right. Chelsea's POV. I can't take this anymore. I need to get out of here. I start throwing things in a large suitcase, but I don't know what I'm grabbing because of my tears. I know I'm going to have nightmares about this forever. I'll never be able to escape this. I want to cry harder at that thought. But I force myself to stop crying, so I make sure that I have everything I need. I grab my purse and wallet and throw them in my suitcase. I make a mental list in my head to see what I'm going to need to grab. Clothes? I look at my closet and see that half of it looks cleared out. Check. Food? I need to grab some stuff from the kitchen before I leave. Not checked. Water? I have 3 water bottles in my suitcase. Check. Money? In my wallet. Check. Keys? I check my pockets and panic slightly when I see that they're not in there. I'm about to rip some of my hair out in frustration. By then I see my keys on the bed next to my suitcase. Check. I guess that's good for right now. I need to be ready to leave once everyone is asleep. Everyone is out back training, but I'm not allowed to be there. I use that to my advantage and drag my suitcase down the stairs and then into my car. I get in my car and then drive it a safe distance away from the pack house so I won't be caught when I'm leaving later. Once that's done, I quickly get out of the car, make sure I have my keys before I lock the door and sprint back to the pack house. Hopefully no one noticed that I was gone. Everyone has finally gone to sleep, so now is the perfect time to make my escape. I change into comfortable clothes before I grab my keys and creep downstairs. I'm almost at the bottom step when I step on something that starts playing Baby by Justin Bieber really loudly. I look down and see that it's a stuffed bear with a hat on its head. This must belong to one of the pack children. If this blows my cover, I will hunt down the owner of this bear. I hear some stirring from the bedrooms as a sign of people waking up, so I quickly shove the bear into a nearby closet. I practically jump down the rest of the stairs, and I keep looking around to make sure no one sees me. Once I see that the coast is clear, I open the door and close it before running towards my car. I'm about to make it to my car when a hand grabs my wrist. I almost start screaming, but a hand covered my mouth. From the tingles in my skin, I realize who it is, and I relax a little. I'm still scared, just not as scared as before. "What are you doing?" John asks as he turns me around and takes his hand off my mouth. Nothing. I didn't mean for that to come out as a question. Hopefully John doesn't notice. By the blank look on his face, I know that he heard me and that he doesn't believe me. "Seriously, what are you doing? Are you trying to leave?" A look of hurt covers his face, and I feel a pang of guilt hit my heart. I wasn't even thinking about John when I decided to leave. I was just taking a little trip. John rolls his eyes at me before he picks me up by the waist and throws me over his shoulder. What do you think you're doing? I ask as I start hitting his back. I'm taking my mate to my house and making sure she never tries to run away again. You don't understand. I need to get out of here, I exclaim. John ignores me and continues to head for his house. Once we get there, John leads us to what I'm guessing is the living room before he sits down with me on his lap. Why were you trying to run away? I don't want to be here anymore. I hate it here. What about me? Do I really not matter to you? You've never given me a chance to prove myself to you. I hear the sadness in his voice, and all my walls are completely shattered. I start crying softly in his arms while shaking my head. This is all my fault. I'm so sorry. I don't deserve you. I can't be with you because you would only get hurt. I'm all messed up, and I don't want to mess you up too. You would be so much better off without me. Two strong arms pull me against a warm, hard chest as I continue to cry. Chelsea, you don't have to do this. Please don't do this. I love you. We can get through whatever this is together. You still love me? Even after all the bad things I've done over the years? You're my mate, Chelsea, and I love you. The past is the past, okay? I forgive you. I don't know what happened to make you change, but you don't have to tell me till you're ready. I don't want to force you into anything. I throw myself onto him and his arms instantly wrap around my waist and hold me close to him. I'm so sorry, I croak out. My throat feels like it's closing because of all my tears and I'm finding it hard to breathe. Shh, it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. I'm right here, John says as he runs his hand up and down my back in a soothing manner. It feels so weird to be around a guy without them expecting me to have sex with them. I feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, I never want to be out of his arms. Thank you so much, John. I'm so glad that you never gave up on me. I mumble into his chest when I finally calm down a little. John grins at me before kissing my forehead. It feels like nothing can harm me anymore, and everything in the world is right. I feel so complete and like nothing can harm me. I don't want to tell John the truth, though. He would never look at me the same way, and I know that he will reject me. Also, we need to be really secretive because Zach threatened to kill John if I don't do what he said. Zach is really crazy, so I know that he will actually try to kill John, and I don't want that. It would be better if everything is out in the open. No more secrets, no more hiding. John, I need to tell you something. Elizabeth's POV. Pass it to me, Luna. Pass! I'm about to pass the football when I feel two strong arms wrap around my waist. I've got you, a husky voice whispers in my ear. My skin tingles and I release a small sigh as Ryder kisses my cheek. Come on, Luna, we gotta keep playing. I see the slightly frustrated look on Marcus's face and I try not to laugh. I'll be there in a minute, I say while throwing the ball to one of the older kids. After they catch it, I turn around in Ryder's arms and bury my face in his muscular chest. What are you doing here? Is there a rule that says I can't visit my beautiful mate just because? A full-blown grin makes its way across my face at the boyish smile on his face. Of course there's no rule like that. I was just wondering since you said that you would be really busy today. I didn't expect to see you till later. We finished earlier than expected, so I decided to come see what you were doing. Some of the children asked me to play with them, so that's what I was doing. I thought it would be better than sitting around at home. You're an amazing Luna. I'm so proud of you and how well you were able to bond with the pack. Everyone adores you, Ryder says before pressing a soft kiss on my lips. Luna? I thought you said you were coming back. Ew. Why is Alpha eating your face? I'll save you. Ryder and I pull away just as Marcus launches himself onto Ryder's leg. Alpha wasn't eating Luna's face. He was just kissing her. Abigail says with an eye roll and her hands on her small hips. My mommy and daddy kiss all the time. I know what kissing is. Alpha was eating Luna's face. Marcus answers with a glare. He's still holding onto Ryder's pant leg, and I can't help but laugh a little. I bend down slightly and grab Marcus off Ryder's leg before I place him on my hip. He instantly snuggles in my chest while wrapping his small arms around my neck. I love you, Luna. More of the kids start coming over and joining the hug. Ryder stands off to the side with a look of pride on his face. I love Luna more. No, I love Luna more. Luna loves me the most. I laugh as the kids continue to fight over who loves me more and who I love more. Guys, I love all of you equally, okay? She just doesn't want to hurt your feelings. She loves me the most, Abigail says with a smirk. Abigail! I try to keep a serious look on my face, but I can't help but smile at her cuteness. What? It's the truth? It's better that everyone knows that now, she says while pushing some people out of the way to get closer to me. I look at Ryder with a smile, but I quickly drop it when I see that he has a frown on his face. I'm about to say something when I hear a loud boom. I quickly wrap my arms around as many kids as I can and then pull them to the ground. Ryder has gone into a protective stance and he's looking around the area with hard eyes. A few seconds later, a flustered-looking Chris comes over to us. A bomb just went off in your house. It takes a few seconds for me to understand what he said, but as soon as I understand, I get up and start running towards the houses. I stumble a little bit because of the children who are crowding around me, but I keep going. Luna, it's not safe over there. Come back here. I ignore Chris's warning and keep running. Why would someone set a bomb off? Is everyone okay? Did someone get hurt? I run even faster trying to get back to the houses. I can see the houses in the distance, but I'm tackled before I can get to them. Elizabeth, stop. You can't go over there. I need to make sure that everyone is okay. Let me go. Everyone is okay. Thankfully, no one was in the house. I'm so glad you were out here with the kids. What if you had stayed inside today? I would have lost you. I look into Ryder's eyes, and I can see the panic in them. I calmed down when he said that no one got hurt. I'm all right. You didn't lose me. I'm right here, I say while running my thumb over his face. He sits up with me on his lap and wraps his arms around me in a tight hug. I feel like I keep failing you as a mate. I'm supposed to be there to protect you, but so far I haven't been doing that. The frown on his face breaks my heart. I hope I never see his face like this again. Don't say that, Ryder. You're an amazing mate. This wasn't your fault. We need to go see the damage and see what we can save. So many questions are running through my head. Hopefully we'll find answers soon. SPOV, aka P. I watch as Ryder and Elizabeth sit together and laugh together. The sight sickens me. Ryder is supposed to be the most ruthless alpha in the entire world, but as soon as he sees his mate, he goes all soft. I don't like how much he has changed. I'm disappointed in him, since he can do so much better. I'll find him someone suitable soon once Elizabeth is out of the picture. I always anxiously awaited the day that Ryder would find his mate. I had thought it would be someone worthy, but obviously that's not the case. Elizabeth deserved all the terrible treatment that she got. She's lower than dirt, and she should be treated as such. I can't believe that she was granted another mate and that it happened to be Ryder. She wasn't even worthy enough for that stupid Zach person. Once again, she has screwed up my plan. She keeps getting in my way, and I will not stand for that anymore. I will have the upper hand this time. I have the element of surprise, and by the time I'm done, she will barely be a distant memory to everyone. The bomb I set off today was just a warning. When I actually put the plan in effect, they won't have a chance. Today was just to torture everyone a little bit and make them paranoid. I was able to get into the house, set the bomb, and leave without anyone looking in my direction twice. I can't believe how trusting Ryder has become because of his mate. Before, if a rogue tried to get onto his land, they would be killed immediately. I've waited for the perfect moment to be able to get into this pack, and my timing couldn't be more perfect. They will look in all the wrong places, and that can buy me some time. Ryder should know better than to trust a rogue, especially after what happened with his mom. Hopefully that idiot Zach will be able to take out most of their defenses and pack members. I would hate to have to get my hands dirty, but I will if I have to. I have waited for this moment for years, and this time I will not fail. I will finally be rid of Elizabeth, and I will be able to get what I've always wanted. Chelsea's POV. You can tell me anything, Chelsea. You know that. Well, I start off about to tell him everything when I see something behind him. Zach is standing behind him with a glare on his face. His eyes are hard, and his jaw is clenched. A flash of panic goes through me, but I calm down a little when I realize that the glare isn't directed towards me. There's a hooded figure standing in front of Zach, and the two of them seem to be having an intense conversation. I can't hear what they are saying, so hopefully they didn't hear me before. I'll worry about them later. I quickly grab John's hand and pull him in another direction. Chelsea, where are we going? Lower your voice. We need to get out of here. John doesn't say anything to me after that, but I can see the questions in his eyes. Once we get far enough away, I let out a relieved sigh. That was way too close. Okay, I'm going to tell you something really important. I need you to be quiet till I get to the very end. Please don't hate me when I tell you everything. I would never hate you. I just give him a tight-lipped smile and shake my head. Just listen to what I have to say first. I take a deep breath before I start telling him everything. I start from the beginning and I tell him everything, leaving no details out. A lot of emotions go across his face as I tell the story. He stays completely silent, but I know that he's listening. Once I'm done, I stare at him and wait for him to say something. "Why didn't you tell me?" is the first thing he says after a few minutes of silence. I look up at his face and try to see exactly what he's thinking. "I didn't want to tell you because I thought you would hate me. You should have known that I would never hate you." Seeing the disappointed look on his face makes my heart clenches painfully in my chest. "I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking." He doesn't say anything for a while, and I can't help but feel nervous. We need to do something about Zach. We can't let him do this.